Welcome back, everyone, to Blue Collar Startup. I'm one of your hosts. Not the host.
I'm the other one.
He's the other one.
Yeah.
That's Derek. I'm Mike. We're here to talk about stuff.
Yep.
And things.
Here on site at Cornell's Auto Parts.
We are.
Yeah.
In the beautiful town of Greenfield. Are you Greenfield Center?
Yes, sir.
All right. I've only lived here for 4 years now. 5 years. So I don't really know where the center stops and what's Greenfield and what's Greenfield Center. But
I didn't know this place existed until 2 years ago.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area. It's a nice drive. Nice drive up.
I love it out here.
Yeah.
I actually, we were just talking about this the other day about living in Greenfield Center, and I love it out here.
It's a beautiful town.
Yeah.
Close enough to Saratoga, but far enough away.
Far enough away. Well,
Yeah.
same thing with Glens Falls, Queen, like the whole deal. Like it's close to everything, but far enough away that you still get that country vibe. So, guys, as Derek said, we're on site. And we're drinking beers, too. So I just want to let everybody know if for some reason I sound extra stupid today. That's why. We all know I usually sound somewhat stupid, but...
Podcast happy hour.
That's right, podcast happy hour. We really are... I'm trying to find a way to just do this all the time. So if there's a bar or restaurant out there that wants to sponsor us with free beer and chicken wings, right? Got to include chicken wings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tinney's podcast.
Tinney,
That's a good idea.
you know...
I know a guy.
Yeah, you know a guy. Yeah. Are you going Monday or Tuesday?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I think we're going to go Tuesday. Actually, we got the team up there.
What's Tuesday?
Well, if you don't know, you don't know. I don't know
Well,
if we
I'd
can
like
tell
to
you.
It's got a frequent flyer here. I'd like to know.
It's got to be on their website.
It's invite only, and
Yeah,
if you don't know about it, you probably weren't invited.
No,
Should've-
well, certainly I didn't get invited.
Oopsie. Yeah, we'll have to talk to those guys about doing it up at Tinney's, man. That's nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So anyway, we're here with the team from Cornell's Auto Parts, as Derek said. And guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are and what you do here. I don't know which one of you wants to start.
I'll start. So
Nice.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for having
I'm
us.
Casey Cornell. I'm the owner here, Cornell's Auto Parts. Happy to have you guys here. And Mike.
I'm Mike Colvett. I'm the general manager here at Cornell's. So I've been here for about 2 years.
Nice. Who bought the beer?
Well, I'm the one who told him to go get it. But
Oh, nice. Okay.
He bought it.
All right.
You mean paid for it or actually picked it up?
He paid for it. I
I saw a guy walk in with the box. I was like, oh, there's our beer right there.
Oh.
That's nice.
It is convenient that Stewart's is right down the road.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, I spent a lot. That's actually, we don't call that Stewart's. We call that DTGC. That's downtown
Okay.
Greenfield Center.
Got it.
You're going to DTGC.
See, I'm learning today.
That's it. That's what happens when you know.
Stewart's and liquor store.
The liquor store, yeah.
There we
Okay.
go.
And Fierro's Pizza, too, man.
Yep.
Shout out to Zach and the gang over there. They got some great pizza.
Yep.
Yeah, he's my neighbor now.
Is he really?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he just moved.
Yep.
Very cool. He's a good dude. I like Zach a lot. All right.
I haven't
Show's
met
over.
him. I haven't met him yet.
Oh, you haven't met him? No, he's a good dude, for sure, yeah. He just opened another place, too, over in Glens Falls. Park Street Bistro. It's like inside the hospital, actually.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what you guys do here at Cornell's. I mean, that's, to kind of give some scope to it, right? Like,
I mean, we're a recycling facility. Wrecked cars. You go drive down the road, you get into an accident. Those cars go to auction if they, deem them, irreparable. Casey and our buyer Jonathan, log onto the auctions and they bid on the cars. Once they get the cars, they come here. We inventory them, and then they, we sell them for parts. All the good parts, reuse them.
I love that idea of your recycling facility.
We're not a junkyard.
Well, right. I mean, that's, there's that old school thought, right? Train of
Yep.
thought of your junkyard. That's what we called them back in the day. But realistically, when you look at it, like you're taking old stuff, whether it's wrecked cars or parts and inventory, whatever it is, and then putting them back out on the road, so to speak.
Yep.
It really is a beautiful facility, campus, I should say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've all been trying to get rid of the junkyard term for so many years,
Yeah.
and it's very hard. I mean, they used to, in the old days, flip cars over, run oil all over, and we don't do anything like that. But, you're at a party, and, hey, what do you do? Well, I'm an auto recycler, and, and you
what's
talk to
that?
them for 5 minutes, and then they're like, oh, yeah, junkyard. I get it. You're like, yeah, okay, junkyard. Moving on.
Do you grind your teeth or slap them across the face?
You have another beer.
Yeah. Oh, and I think you said 20 years you've been doing this?
Yep, I've been here 20 years this winter. 20 years this winter, yep.
And how did you get into this?
Well, unfortunate circumstances I got into it. It was my dad's business before me, and he got ill at a young age, 48 years old, and I kind of stepped in here to just keep the wheels on. I didn't know anything about the business, honestly.
Yeah.
And he didn't come back, and I never left. I'm still here.
And you're still here. And what did you do before that?
Before I worked at a big insurance company as a claim adjuster on the road for housing, not for automobiles.
So not even auto related, right? That's
Nope.
great.
Nope.
Wow. So you stepped into it
And
just started learning, right? Like,
yeah, the timing was right. I was from corporate background with computers and stuff. There weren't any computers here at the time. It was a very small staff. My dad had like one helper, and I just started, well, we got to get a computer. We got to do this. We got to do that. And we just started growing, and it's been a fun ride. It's been great.
Yeah.
So.
And today, how many people do you have here on site? And I mean, clearly you've grown the business quite a bit since you took it over.
We have people here, and we also have people in other states. We have remote people, salespeople, and buyers and stuff. But in total, we have like 40 employees.
Wow.
40 employees. How many did you have when you first started?
1.
So you came in when your dad was sick, and it was just you trying to do all this stuff and figure it all out?
My dad had one helper that he worked most 40 hours, but just one helper.
Like, were you ripping cars apart and pulling parts out? And
in the beginning, I did it all.
And answering phones and selling it, and holy shit, man, that must have been crazy. And you didn't know how to do any of it?
Nope. Made it up as I went along.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Sure is.
Well, it's, we joke all the time, and it's not really a joke, but we talk about with like entrepreneurs, like true entrepreneurs, like they just figure shit out. Bottom line, like they don't know how to do most of the things that they end up having to do. So if you're like a contractor and you're working for somebody, then you want to open your own business, right? Like you don't know how to run a business. Like you know how to swing a hammer.
Yeah. When I worked in the insurance, I always wanted to work for myself, and construction was my thing. So I'd work in the insurance company 5-6 hours a day, pretty much. I made my own schedule, and depending on how fast you could get your work done, is when you could be done. Yeah. And so I'd work till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock every day, and then I'd go put a deck on somebody's house or a roof, and that's what I always wanted to work for myself. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to go start a construction company. And my dad would always say, like, no, you got to get a real job. You don't want to work for yourself, get a real job. So I did for a while, but now this is my real job. Yeah.
There's so many things I want to make sure we talk about, because I like how this industry has changed more recently. Obviously you guys have that whole network that you have that allows you to deliver parts all over the place. Like that whole, I want to make sure that we talk about that stuff too. It's really cool. Like, cause it wasn't always in place, and, get that man a beer. Well, crack it right in the microphone so the crap. Oh yeah, people listening, they want it. Oh, that's a glorious sound. Yep. It's amazing. Those aren't Diet Colas, guys. Let me just tell you. Yeah. Let's back up though, and let's talk about what it looked like for you. You're by yourself doing everything, which again just sounds crazy to me. But again, every small business owner's been there, right? Where you're doing it, you're selling it, you're doing the books on it. It sounds like you had one guy that helped out a bit, 40 hours. How long were you doing everything until you started to really hire people and grow your team? Like, what did that look for you?
I would say, it's hard to remember all of it now, but it wasn't that long where the guy that was with my dad was an older guy, and he didn't have experience really doing this business either. He was retired from the mill up in Corinth, and he did a lot of maintenance-y stuff and cut the grass, drove the tow truck, things like that. So it wasn't too long in, and I hired some younger guys like to pull parts in the yard and stuff, so I could spend a little more time maybe on the phone or whatever. But and then after a little longer, I actually started hiring guys. I tried to hire guys that knew the business better than me. So I would hire a sales guy that's been in another yard for 20 years. And, okay, you're in the office. He took over the office, and it was only a one desk office. So there wasn't room for two of us at the time. So he'd take over the office, and I'd go, okay, now I'll go buy cars, or I'll pull the motor or whatever. So, and I just kept kind of plugging in people as we could afford it. I would plug in more people that knew the business, and we just kept growing that way.
Well, how did you make that decision or that determination? I know that's a big one for a lot of people in a lot of different industries, right? Is what tells me that I can afford to hire another person?
Well, there were times that I probably hired people and they were getting paid and I wasn't. I can remember my wife. I mean, when I started this, we had a brand new baby. It's easy for me to say it's been 20 years because my kid's 20 years. So I can remember that easy, right? But I can remember my wife asking, like, hey, did we make any money this week? I'm like, yeah, well, I paid the help. So there were a lot of times that we couldn't, inventory is very important in this business.
Sure.
Well, I'd go to the auction, I'd buy 2 cars, I'm out of money. So that was a holder back of growth for sure. But if I had a bunch of money, I probably still would have wasted it because I had to learn how to do it and what to buy and that. So back to your question, how do you know when you can afford to hire somebody? I guess when you have the money, you can hire somebody. And there was times I needed people and I didn't hire them because I couldn't afford them. And then, like I say, there was times I hired them and I made less because they were here. But it all advanced the company. It all helped.
Well, leaders eat last, right? Isn't that what they say?
It's just crazy that it started literally from ground zero,
Yeah.
Some people inherit it, you know what I mean? It's literally started at nothing and came what it is today.
And 20 years, so that you're like at the beginning of the internet being
Correct.
used for business. So like when you first came on, were people finding you on a Google search like they do now?
Not really. And
Like, did you even have a website at that point?
no.
It's amazing.
Wow.
I know, right?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around because the business itself, it sounds like, you have to invest and continue to reinvest and buy the right stuff. And it's just, I have so many questions.
You have to feed it.
Yeah.
I mean, the more we buy, the more we sell. And if you throttle back on the buy, you throttle back on your sales. It's totally relative.
And most people, you flip a car, you get, money goes out and then money comes in. Sometimes in the salvage yard, you buy a $10,000, $15,000 car. Well, it takes a couple months to get that money back.
Yeah.
It's
if you bought the right car.
If you bought the right car, but sometimes it doesn't even come back.
That's the thing, right? I mean, you really got to be in tune with, and this was actually something I just learned about the car market in general, is that the reason why you don't see a lot of new automakers come onto the market is because they don't really make a lot of money on new cars. They make a lot of money on service and parts of cars on fleets that are already on the road. So it's literally, for car makers, it's all about getting a fleet on the road that's got 50 or 15 million vehicles, and then I'm going to sell service and parts to those cars to keep them running, right? So like you've got to know. You got to know the car industry pretty well. You got to know what's coming on the market. Yeah. You got to know when it came on the market, what's breaking a lot. Like, the 1987 Honda Civic, they go through brakes like no man's business. So we better start buying those kinds of parts. Like, is that, I have to assume that's what it's like. But.
Yeah, everything that we buy is by demand. So we have 6 salespeople. They're looking up parts all day long. And when they look up the part, it logs it. So when my buyer's going to look at an auction, it's got 400 cars in it. It ranks those cars by the requests we've had on the parts.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it'll put the car that we need the most parts off will be in the top of his list and down from there.
That's really cool. I had no idea that was part of the industry.
Yep.
The amount of technology and computers and tablets and things that we use in this junkyard is crazy. If you can't use a computer or tablet, smartphone, you can't work here because we don't write anything down. We don't pass out papers, go get me this part. It's all electronic.
But you used papers at some point in time, though, didn't you?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, we sure did. The first, when I came in, we had a book that we looked up. I could look and see what fit what part, and then I'd have to write down, what it fits. Go out there and look for it.
I was about to say, go out into the lot, see if there's a car out there that's got that part, right? Like, that's amazing. I remember back when I was like 18, and I was trying to find parts, actually, for my first car was an 87 Honda Civic, and I went to a junkyard, like, up outside of Plattsburgh, and I remember the guy was like, go out there and look, and
to the back 40. Go figure it out.
Set me back there. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, man. I'm like an 18, 19-year-old kid, but...
Well, my dad didn't have a computer, but if you came in with your 87 Honda, he'd say, well, if you go back there, take your first left, take a right, there's 12 87 Civics lined up right there.
Yeah,
the third one has the alternator on the front seat.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's where you get that memory from, huh?
I guess so.
You got the same gift?
Oh.
Yeah, not so much with that. I'm not out there looking at the cars and what parts are on them. We now everything's in the computer and it's by location and it's bar-coded and whatever, but I do have a pretty good memory, yes.
Yeah. So you have software now that when you bring a car on, does it automatically inventory all the parts on the car for you, or do you still have to go through a car and inventory them by hand?
No, we still go through the car. So we have an inventory guy. He has a tablet. And he goes right through the car, front to back, inventories all the good parts. And then after he's done, he uploads it, and then Casey will go in and price all the parts.
How many a week do you bring in typically?
Well, we buy about 120 a month, 125 a month, so 30 a week.
Wow. Yep.
That's a lot of cars.
That is a lot of cars.
Yep.
So, yeah, Sam, I just have so many questions. And
so how did you know you needed a general manager, and how did you get to that point?
Frustration.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were talking about a little bit off air, COVID and all that. Mm-hmm. It's not making things has not made things easier. And 20 years, I work here pretty much all day. Then I go home, eat dinner, whatever, maybe catch a kid's softball game, then go back to work, price cars. And so at some point I need some help, so Mike's here to take some load off and maybe I get a little time off. So
must be working. He's been here 2 years now.
Trying.
What's your background, Mike?
So sales.
Okay.
I came out of, I guess start from the beginning. I came out of high school. I worked with my father for a little bit in construction. Very hard. We butted heads quite a bit. So started selling TVs at Rent-A-Center.
Frickin' Rent-A-Center.
Rent-A-Center, yeah.
Are they still around?
I think so, yeah. Now they got like cell phones and everything. Back then it was just like couches and TVs.
They got cell phones,
yep.
Xboxes.
Try to repossess one of them things.
Yeah. Amazing. Sorry, that's...
No. So I went from that. I did that for a few years. And then my mother knew a guy who owned a salvage yard up in Queensbury, Jerry Brown's Auto Parts.
J-Bab.
Yeah. So, which sold out, but I guess we'll get to that. But yeah, I messaged Larry and, we got a hold of him and he hired me, and kind of the rest is history. That was 15 years ago, and I worked for him for 10 years. He sold the business, and then I got out of it and went over to another company selling parts remotely, so out of my house. And then, I kind of, heard of Casey. I reached out to him and said, hey, looking to become a manager. I've been in this industry for, at that point, 13 years.
Yeah.
So he brought me on as sales manager, and then kind of things jumbled around, and here I am.
J-Bab.
Yep.
That is an interesting tie-in, I think, that we should bring in too, right? Sorry.
I don't know what that noise is.
It sounds like someone's revving an engine out there. Look at that. Drag racing on the street.
It's like the newspaper
I thought you guys, Mac here had background or something.
Yeah. We do, actually. Hold on. Which one's this?
Oh, here you go.
I do.
For all of Mike's good jokes.
Yeah, there you go.
We got sound effect buttons.
Nothing beats the beer can opening.
Wow. No, I agree.
We'll have to add that.
Yeah.
We'll have to add that. So I think one of the really cool things that has happened in your industry, right, is that you guys have... Tell us about, like, the network of junkyards, the network of auto recyclers that you guys are a part of?
It's a wide variety.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, you're referencing, I think, our PRP Northeast
PRP,
group.
that's it, yes.
And PRP Northeast is a group of recyclers. We cover from Pennsylvania all the way out to Buffalo, New York, all the way up to southern Maine, New Hampshire. And, there's 18 business partners, and we all have the same set of standards, and we all meet every night at a central location down in Albany, New York, trade parts. So, I mean, I can order a part from southern PA. I can order it right now, and you need it tomorrow for your car. I'll have it tonight at 11 o'clock at night at our hub. I'll bring it here tonight. It'll get unloaded, and guy will be putting it on a truck tomorrow, 5 in the morning, and delivering it to your place, wherever that is, Plattsburgh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty cool.
That's wild.
it's super cool. It's on the map over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And
So it's done a lot for my company. You brought up Jerry Brown's. Jerry Brown's was in that group before me. They sold out to a consolidator, opened up a door. We're the privately owned companies in that group, and that opened a door for me, and it's changed how we do business 100%.
yeah, I mean, it's the whole idea behind it is just amazing to me. I don't know how that whole thing came about or how it got started, but I remember learning about it first back at the JBAP days.
Yep.
And then when we started working together and hearing about, when you're talking about like, oh yeah, they opened that door, and it's crazy. Like what an innovation that is because tell us how it, like you said, it changed your business. Like kind of put that on scale for people as far as what being a part of an organization like that did for your company.
Availability of parts. I mean, in the early days, like I said, we bought what we could afford. And, so somebody would call me, hey, do you have this motor? I don't have it. Let me see if I can find one. And we would call around to other little small guys like me, and we might find it, and it wasn't the best quality, or it take too long to get it, that kind of stuff. Where now, I mean, we don't even tell people anymore it's not ours. It's like, hey, I need a motor for this car. Yep, no problem. Have it to you tomorrow. It's this much money. And it just flows. It's just, there's...
and then you go from reaching 100 miles to hundreds of miles you're reaching, you know what I mean? Because you got such the wide, variety of parts and stuff, so.
Yeah, we actually sell more to that group than we buy.
Yeah.
We're up here in the Northeast. We're in the sticks. We have a lot of room. We have a lot of cars. We sell to one of our partners is in Bronx.
Yeah, New York City.
He's in New York City.
Yeah.
And, he has my parking lot for his whole company.
Right.
So he buys a ton of parts from us and delivers them around New York City tomorrow. And so it's enabled us to grow because it's a couple thousand parts a month that we wouldn't sell if we weren't in that group. So we wouldn't be able to buy as many cars. It's been amazing for our company.
I think it's just such an amazing idea. Like I look at it from our standpoint, like, we network with companies, right? We have strategic partnerships, but not like that, right? Where I can see your inventory, I can see what you have, I can sell it to my customers. If I don't have it and you got it, I can still sell it like it's in my backyard. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
What's theirs is mine, and what's mine is theirs. Yeah. And it's that simple.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Wow.
So I want to back up a little bit. Again, there's just so much to talk about.
We're going to have to do like a mini series.
I know, right?
Good.
Like part 1, part 2. How's your beers?
Good.
Okay.
Does everybody know you trained me back in the day? Sales training?
I don't know that we've done that part. But I don't know that. I probably hurt you.
Was he a good trainer?
But, yeah.
He wasn't bad,
I dropped a lot of F-bombs.
Yeah, sure did.
And we met.
Stop painting seagulls.
We met at. See, that's funny. We met at like 6 o'clock in the morning too. That was a great part.
Yeah, I wasn't all there for those ones.
It was like every week for like a year.
Yep.
At 6 a.m. that I would have to. I mean, there's a couple times, dude.
Some of these people bitch about coming in at 7.
Oh my god! Yeah, these guys. Yeah, we were in training by 6, so it was like get there like 5:30, 5:45.
Yep.
I remember a couple of times too because I was single for a portion of that, and there was a couple of I think it was Tuesday mornings.
Yep.
And
a little hungover.
Well, yeah.
Monday Night Football.
Oh, Monday Night Football, and then then going to bed at like 1 a.m. to get up at like 4 a.m. It's like, and you've had a few beers.
Yeah.
But anyway,
might as well just stay up.
I don't think I can do that anymore. I'm 47 years old, Casey. That's
So am I.
pulling all nighters. I don't think I have it in me. As it stands, like right now, like we've had to, a couple times this past week, we've had to for Bill's team, we've had to go down to some of his jobs, and I'm out. I don't get like home till midnight, 12:30, 1 a.m. And then I got to get up at 5 a.m. because of the animals.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Holy shit! Man.
I'm in bed by 9.
I'm a mess. Yeah, I know. I'm normally like
If I stay up past 9:30, my wife's like, "Are you sick? Are you all right?
Yeah.
You need to go to bed."
Oh my god.
Yep.
Monday through Friday, I'm in bed at 8:30 with my son reading him stories. By 9 o'clock, 9:30, I'm out, man.
Yep.
And then I'm up at 4 or 5, taking care of sheep and chickens and pigs and all that stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing wrong. No, I love it. I love my life for sure.
Yep.
So I want to talk about the auto recycling part, right? Because I think that's an important message to get back to so that people kind of understand some of the many great things that you guys are doing, but moreover, the fact that you're a green company, right?
Yep.
And what that means in the auto industry. So can you guys kind of explain that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to like what he said earlier. Back in the day, they flip a car on its roof and oil's draining all over the place, and it's a mess. Now the car gets inventoried. It comes into our dismantling shop. We drain the oil out. We pump it through an oil separator. It goes into our oil tank. We use it to heat the floors and all that for winter, and so that gets recycled. All the fluids get drained.
Wait, so you're using the oil to help heat your facilities?
Yep.
That's
great.
Awesome.
That's all we heat the place with.
That's it.
Stop it, really?
Used oil. Yep.
So you have free heat, essentially.
Essentially. Yep.
That's amazing.
It is. It's nice. Gets warm in here.
Very smart.
Yeah, man. I love stuff like that. Not just from a recycling standpoint, but I love the idea of turning like something that most people would just dispose of, and now you're using it for you're turning a liability into an asset basically at that point.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Did you have to do a special conversion on your furnace to be able to burn motor oil? Murder oil?
No, they're built. They're made to do
Greenfield,
it.
yeah.
They're bought especially for it. They're waste oil boilers.
Oh, okay.
And furnaces.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, so did like Jiffy Lubes. They burn their oil. A lot of dealerships. Once you kind of get in the know of it, it's more widespread than you think. But so we don't buy any heating oil. We buy, we burn all our gasoline in delivery trucks.
Yep. Take all the gas out of the cars, goes into a tank, and pump it into delivery trucks.
Wow.
But an automobile...
You must be stinking rich. The cost of fuel oil and gasoline right now, holy moly.
His blood pressure goes up when he sees down at Stewart's at 9 o'clock in the morning getting gas.
Yeah. But a vehicle, and I don't have the stat, but it's like one of the most recyclable items in the, that's produced. Like every piece of a car. When we're done selling the good parts off it, we take what's left, we put it in a crusher, it goes down to the port, it goes through a shredder, and it becomes a new car. The steel gets ground up, it gets sorted. They even do things with the carpet and the foam out of the seats. Everything is recycled.
Yep.
So the car manufacturers will buy the metal?
No, not the manufacturers until it's refined and all that. Usually, honestly, I believe it goes on a barge and goes overseas to be refined, then comes back as a plate steel or a roll of tin or whatever.
Got it. Wow.
That is interesting. So you got a crusher out there.
We have a mobile crushing company comes in about 4 times a year, and we just put them all in a stack. And when we don't have room for any more, they come crush them, haul them away, and then they give me a check.
I heard Car-Crusher, and I immediately thought of. You ever watch Pulp Fiction?
Yep.
You know the wolf.
I haven't watched it in a long
Harvey,
time.
was it Harvey Keitel?
I feel like that was before my time.
His character. You haven't seen Pulp Fiction?
No.
You guys, stop it right now.
No. Was that before 1990? That's when I was.
Dude, that is
I was
like.
born.
We'll watch it before part 2. They'll come back and talk about it.
Oh my God. That is one of the most, I mean, it's definitely the best Quentin Tarantino. You know who Quentin Tarantino is, right?
I know who he is.
I do this a lot here.
Fuck, guys. Oh my God. Is it because we're old?
Yeah.
Is that?
I think so.
I'm like, hey, you want Counting Crow tickets? Who? Never mind.
Never heard of her.
Oh my God. Well, I was immediately thinking about the Wolf, Harvey Keitel's character in that. And what he is, he's a cleaner. These guys accidentally shoot someone. They've got the body in the car, in the trunk. They bring it to the Car-Crusher. I had a whole thing I was going with there, guys. It was going to be so funny.
Ruined it.
I thought you were going to ask to go play with the Car-Crusher.
Well,
That's where I thought he was going with it.
No, I just want to know if you knew any kind of Harvey Keitel characters. You know any wolves come over? Anybody ever approach you about getting rid of cars?
It's Greenfield.
Might be a cow in the.
Yeah, exactly. Old sheep.
Well, I can't say that we haven't made jokes about it in the past. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we'll just put them in the trunk and shove them in the crusher.
Yeah, wait for that mobile crusher to come.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they'll find them in the shredder.
Oh. Well, that'd be messy. So, all right. So, my crusher joke got ruined. I've been thinking about that since in the first 5 minutes of the show, you talked about the crusher, and I was like, oh man, I got to set up this whole Pulp Fiction thing. That's over.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Should have known better. I don't know where to go from here.
So obviously, talking about your workforce and the trades, where are you sourcing some of your staff from, and where are they coming to you from? Obviously, it's pretty specialized what you guys do. So I guess where do you find your staff?
I mean, a lot of our staff is, local.
Okay.
And then, it even goes a step further is, they're friends of each other. And that's kind of where we found our best staff. I mean, we've done ads and Indeed and all that stuff, but our best employees are friends of each employee. So it's nice. It's, hey, we're looking for, another dismantler. Oh, well, hey, I may know a guy, Sure enough, before you know it, your whole dismantling team already knows each other. It just makes for a nice work environment.
They're all buddies, yeah.
They're all buddies. They know each other, know each other's wives. It's the best about a family business,
And there is there's a portion of our staff that's pretty specialized, and then there's another half of it that is trainable. So, I can train guys to QC parts and wash parts, and where it's hard to train a dismantler. Dismantler needs a certain skill set. They need to bring it with them. Salespeople, you can make anybody salesperson.
That's what they tell me.
Sure can.
That's what they tell me. If you find yourself without any kind of skills and no real future, go into sales.
That's it. That's right.
That was always the joke.
I wouldn't want to be a salesperson, so God bless them for doing what they do on the phone every day with everything from a lug nut to somebody needs a whole motor or transmission, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and phone sales are tough, man. Because people are abusive to phone. It doesn't matter if they called you. I can already. I mean, obviously, I know because we worked together in the past. But some of the people are just such assholes.
Well, even just in the last little bit, when I did it, it was still so much different. When I did it, you still had a shot to sell it and maybe upsell it. Now it's like they call you, they see it online, they know what they go for.
Yeah,
you have it. I want it. We got to make a deal. You tell them it's 50 cents more than what they see. They think you're screwing them.
Yeah. I'm looking at it online.
Yeah.
And of course,
Amazon has it for half the price. You kidding me?
Fucking Amazon.
Come on.
And people love to play the game. You get the people that want the hagglers, the career hagglers. I used to have a buddy. This guy he'd spend 2 weeks researching a pair of goggles on eBay and then haggle with the guy about the 10. I'm just like, dude, what do you what? And there's those people. There's so many people out there that are gonna call you and just want to play the game. Need to bring. It's such a great sound. I feel like every podcast needs that sound effect.
We have those customers too. They call you because they know that your quality's good and they want the best quality. They, as long as you're in line with the price, they don't care because they know what they're getting. And then you have the customers that call you that you have an engine for $3,000 and they want it for $1,500, and they're like, "Come on, what do you mean? It's a used part." Well, yes and no, it is. But Our used parts come with warranties, and you could purchase extended warranties that are better than the dealers.
Yeah.
It's
like me on Facebook Marketplace.
Exactly, yeah.
And most jerks out there on Facebook Marketplace is what we do. Oh, you're listed for $3,000?
Yeah.
Will you take 1,000?
Yeah. Here's 300.
Better than a garage sale.
That's yeah. So one thing I wanted to ask you too, or wanted to like just talk about is you mentioned clean parts. Like the parts come in and we're cleaning these parts. Like tell us about that whole process when the cars come in, you're breaking them down. What did you call it? The person that breaks the cars down? Dismantler.
No.
That's nice.
It's badass.
Yeah, it is badass, right? And then, but you're cleaning these parts. It's not like it's a bunch of filthy, gross, greasy, like worn down parts.
You're not getting anything all greasy and, full of crap. Like it comes through, we have a pressure washer, we pressure wash it, check it, almost all, if it can. We try to run test the engines, so everything's tested, clean, and shows up at your doorstep ready to install. There's no hassle. It's easy. That's it.
The junkyard day, the motor would be hanging off of chain,
Yeah.
wires dragging, stuff leaking everywhere, maybe sitting on a tire. There's none of that anymore. All the broken stuff's taken off. The cut wires are taken off. It's drains, got cap plugs in it. It's been washed, marked, stamped, inspected. It's on a nice wooden pallet. We bring it to your dealership or your garage and we roll it. What bay would you want it in? We roll it off our pallet jack, off our truck, right to where you want it. Here you are, sir. Have a nice day. It's
nice.
We're competing with the dealer. You brought up the dealer. They're not really fond of us because our parts are usually half of what their parts are. They want to sell new parts, like you said, and they want to install them and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to make our stuff as presentable to compete with what they're presenting.
And for a lot less money.
For a lot less money. Usually half is a good rule of thumb, and a lot of times it's more than half less than the dealer.
And dealers don't buy parts from you?
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
And then local garages and auto repair.
Yeah.
Yeah. A big part of our business is wholesale. The small garages, the dealers, insurance, body shops, stuff like that.
Which is super convenient for a small business to be able to look up and say, oh, these guys have it.
Yep.
Very interesting.
So from a management standpoint, so you guys are running the business, right? What does a typical day look like for you guys? Is there a typical
They're not all
day?
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely used to be, well, I guess they were never a typical day, but I mean, you start your day by, is everybody here or who's not here? And who do I shift?
Yep.
But that's okay. We get through that. Get the trucks out every morning. We send 6 trucks out every day. Once that's out, it's like, okay, that's out.
Yep.
Truck, they're out collecting the money. That's good. And then, Mike, I mean, I'm kind of speaking for you here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I check, what's got to get dismantled today, or, I look at our system and see what parts need to be pulled and, try to navigate through it. And, if the yard gets buried and they got to pull a bunch of parts, you have to pull some guy over here to, put them over here. And it gets hectic, but, it's a good thing. When you're busy, you're making money.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of guys that can perform multiple tasks or different jobs?
We like that here.
Yeah.
We'll sit in an interview and the first thing we ask is, can you be versatile? You know what I mean? Like, I like versatile people. I like you can inventory a car one day and you could pull the door the next day. You're more valuable to us if you know multiple things.
Does that happen a lot for you? Where you need that?
It does.
You need someone jumping into a different role? Because I always wonder, because again, we look at the 3 businesses sitting at this table, right? We're the smallest. So, and I always wonder how so obviously most of the people in our company are wearing multiple hats. You're what,
120.
120 employees?
We do the same thing. It's very similar.
But you still have people wearing multiple hats?
Yeah, I mean, you have different services. So, for our technicians, it's the same thing. You're more valuable to us if you know how to shampoo carpets, strip and wax a floor, and perform your day-to-day tasks.
Yeah.
So it's more opportunity for them to grow and advance.
I wonder if that ever goes away, where you need people that can I guess because so long as people call in sick and don't show up for work, you always need someone that can wear multiple hats.
Every day.
Yeah.
Part of the deal with our the group that we're in, if we show the part and we tell them our cutoff time's 4 p.m., they order it before 4 p.m., our commitment's to get them that part tonight.
Yeah.
So if the yard guy calls in sick, it's not like, oh, sorry, we'll have to bring it to you tomorrow.
Someone's got to do it.
Somebody's filling in and getting that part done. So cross-training is huge.
Yeah.
Every night, rain, snow, sleet, that big hub truck out there goes down to Albany, no matter what. And it's full of parts every night.
Christmas?
Well,
Depends on how.
Are you guys open 7 days or
no.
no?
Monday through Friday. And we close all the major holidays and
We do.
like day after Thanksgiving. Like Mike said earlier, we're 90% of a wholesale business to other repair shops and stuff. And that's another thing that's changed a lot since COVID. It used to be like the day after Thanksgiving, half the shops, 3/4 of the shops were open. Now, nobody's open.
Yeah.
You stay open, you're twiddling your thumbs.
Yep.
You guys are driving around all day to close shop. So, and it's good too for, Thanksgiving's personally my favorite holiday because I know we're closed for 4 days and nobody's going to call and say, hey, that something broke or this or that.
Yeah.
It's like Thanksgiving's like, oh, great.
Yep.
Wednesday
Relax.
afternoon, got 4 days off. Place is closed. I don't know where I was going with that. But.
So,
Blame the beer.
do you guys have any day-to-day personal routines to get you away from work and keep you grounded? Obviously, you guys are managing a lot here, so a lot of moving pieces. So do you do anything to get away from that when you're not here?
I golf.
Golfer.
Well, that's
I try to be. I'm not
Yeah.
like a professional.
I mean, I saw that swing that you had at the golf tournament there.
It's a good one, right? Just because the ball went all the way to the right doesn't mean that there's a secret hole in there somewhere.
That's right.
I golf when I want work to be seem less frustrating than what I did on my day off.
Nice.
But I mean, I snowmobile and I like going outside and I like building stuff. I still do a lot of construction stuff when I'm not
fun.
here. Yeah, for fun.
For fun, yeah.
Sometimes he still thinks he has the availability to. He'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll build that desk." Yeah, no, we're still waiting on one.
In my experience, most business owners are optimists. That's why they are business owners, because they really think it's just all going to work out and be great.
Yeah.
Until it's not.
He just doesn't stop working. That's his.
Yeah.
He'll work all day here, go home, sit on his laptop, price cars all night, go to bed and wake up and do it again. But, someone's got to do it,
Yeah, is that kind of what your role is these days, Casey? Is mainly just the pricing car, like buying cars, really, right?
Yeah, well, we have a buyer who works remote in Rhode Island, but I do price all the cars, reprice a lot of stuff. I mean, it's more and more like we talked about earlier. It's a visual world, right?
Yeah.
The guy calls and he says, "Hey, I see you have this part." Well, if my part's overpriced, they're not going to call us. So we have to work on that constantly. Work on feeding the machine, right? So the car never gets seen. My guy can't sell a part off it till I price it and upload it. So even if I'm at camp snowmobiling or I've been priced cars in Aruba. I priced a car in a taxi cab. Where were we? California.
Yep, San Francisco. Going to a football game. He's back there pricing a car in an Uber.
Nice.
Got to get it done. So I got it done on the way to the football game. And
But you can do that all from your phone?
I do it on a laptop. Like I say, I do like the snowmobile, and I have a place up in northern New Hampshire. I put an office there. It's got same thing I got here, 3 screens.
Is it?
Mike Turcott.
Yeah, wasn't he up there snowmobiling?
He was, yeah.
Up in northern New Hampshire?
Yep.
That's funny. What a small world. What if it's the same
the one
town?
place that had snow.
Yeah.
This year they were like the one place that had snow.
Yeah.
If he was up there, I'm sure he was in our town because it's one of the places to eat.
What's the name of the
surrounding
town?
area. It's Errol, New Hampshire.
Errol. Turcott, if you listen to this, let us know.
Yeah.
But that's a spot. We'll connect you guys. You guys can hang. He was a cool guy.
Yeah,
He's a good dude.
He was.
Yeah. So snowmobiling. And you're somewhat into cars.
I'm very big into cars. Yep, drag racing, anything to do with cars. I'm huge into it.
You have your own drag car?
I do.
Nice.
I do. Well, so it's fun. It's a good.
Where do you do that?
So like next
Other
weekend,
than out front, because I see all the lines on the road.
There's a
out
couple
front.
skid marks out there.
if you ask Casey, none of those are for me. So don't worry. No, but I mean, all over the Northeast. You know, I've been down to Florida. I've Pennsylvania. I'm going to Pennsylvania next weekend
Nice.
for a big drag race. So
Good luck with that.
thank you. I appreciate it. But you know, it's good. You got to have a hobby. You know, and
Hell yeah, dude! You got to do something outside
Yeah.
of what you do for money. That's for sure.
absolutely.
I like to cook and drink beer too.
Yeah, I like those things,
Yep.
especially the second one there.
Yep.
Well, they go hand in hand.
They do, yeah. They
Barbecue
really do.
grill and
Oh man,
He's good at making pizza. He's got a nice pizza oven. We went over there last week.
you got an
know,
outdoor pizza oven?
Oh yeah.
That's what I want.
Nice.
That is what I want. I was watching a reel today. I think it was on Instagram. This guy freaking digging a hole to do a pig roast, and I was like, oh my god.
you bury things that are dead. I mean, I guess it is dead, but you usually don't
Well,
dig it
those
up and
real
eat
suck-
it.
You don't dig it up and eat it. I don't. But they had this whole. It was amazing, and I'm like, I got the perfect pig for this too. But they like, I do. But they literally they humped. You know, they obviously they cleaned the pig, processed it, hard, whatever you want to call it, right? So they killed the pig and they skinned the freaking pig, right? So and they get it hanging up, and they pack this thing with salt and these herbs and spices. Then they wrap the whole thing and they put it down in the ground and let it cook in the ground for I don't know how long, man. But you see like the whole thing and they're digging the hole with the excavator. I'm like, oh my god, this is freaking
It's funny how those
amazing.
reels really suck you in, huh?
Wow.
I watched a kid build a swimming pool one time in third world country. That was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
by hand.
Yeah.
I bet you I
It's
watched
got
the
that little
same
shovel.
thing. Oh my god.
How long was the reel?
It was probably 15 minutes. It really sucked me in, I tell you.
I can't get to the end of those things.
No.
Oh, some of them you can't not get to the end
Yeah.
of it. It's like I got to know how this turns out, man.
It
Like,
sucks you in.
Yeah.
wow. It is crack for sure. It's
Yep.
video crack. But yeah, those pig roasts, man. Holy moly, we got to do that.
Yeah.
Are you guys coming to our client appreciation party?
I guess it's invite only, and I didn't get the invite.
I sent the invite.
I got the invite. Sorry.
Yeah, there you
Forgot
go.
to forward it to you.
I'll make sure.
Kind of like that Tinney's thing, right?
We're gonna do it over at Dancing Grain. Are you coming?
Yeah, I got the invite.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
When is it?
That's so non-committal.
Well, it's
That's
so
fine.
far from
Yeah,
Albany.
I know. You only live like an hour and 15 minutes away.
I do.
so.
Dancing Grain is amazing, though. That place is really cool.
Dancing Grain,
It's
you
a
been
good
over
spot.
there yet?
I have not.
It's right over by Hiram Hollow.
I've heard of
By
it,
the
but
dome.
I haven't been.
Come, check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You'll
great.
like
It's really
it.
cool. Yeah. And we had Rachel on the podcast that is the owner. She's great. The place is amazing. The beer's good.
Yeah.
The beer's great. It's not even good. It's great.
As long as it's cold, you drink anything, right?
Well, that too. I mean, look at what we're drinking right now. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't seem to have a problem with it.
well, it's beer. I had all sorts of jokes, but I was like, I'll let them all go.
Yep.
So where do you envision the company going over the next 5-10 years?
Well, that's tough. I mean, we've continued to grow the company since the beginning. We're experiencing year-over-year growth for 20 years now. I would assume at some point it has to level off, or we're going to need 7 more buildings and 40 more people, which is not really something I'm looking to do.
Yeah.
But we got a little room to grow yet in our sales and some efficiencies, and maybe just streamline some things, and everybody can make a good living, and it'll be good for the customers, it'll be good for the employees, and I'm gonna be 48, so I'm on the wind down. Me and Mike are on the wind down.
Shit, man. I'm in the build back up. I'm building back better after COVID right now.
Well,
Me and Joe Biden.
yeah. Let's not go there.
It's the beer. Sorry.
Well, that's part 2.
Can I have another one, actually, by the way?
You guys doing pretty good.
Wow.
But I'd like to, just keep things going in a positive direction, and maybe someday I'll just
You're a bad influence.
go to New Hampshire and
It was
Price-
your idea for the beer. Sorry, Casey, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
Don't throw me under the bus. I told him it was your idea.
Oh, shit. It definitely was my idea. Sorry.
eventually I'll be able to throttle back and hand it off to somebody like Mike and, relax.
Let me ask you this, and I know that we're getting short on time, but where do you have fun right now in your business? Like 20 years, like you've been like a lot of this, right? It becomes robotic after a while. Like you're doing the same thing every day, day in, day out. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like when that happens to me, because I'm doing marketing for 10 years now. I've had a marketing company, right? It's been my sole source of income, and some days it's like you gotta man. You gotta such a great sound. You gotta wake up and make the donuts, right? And it's like fuck. So like. What's fun? Like, where do you get that enjoyment now, or that excitement, or whatever word you want to use?
I mean, I've never not had fun doing it. I mean, when I'm away, I miss it. So, I guess just making progress every day, tweak a few things. We did some really dumb shit today with
having us here. Yeah.
No.
Started right around 2:00.
No, not that, but some procedural stuff that we worked on this morning, and it's like, oh, that's cool to get that actually working and going right, and you just see small changes, and I don't know, I always like that stuff.
So you're a mechanic. You like tuning up the machine and seeing what you're doing is working.
Yeah, I guess.
Is that a way to say that?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And I like, he said earlier, at night I like to sit back and like look at the day and what did we do today? How much money did we sell? How many returns did we have? I mean, just kind of scorecarding, and that was a good day. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
What about you, Mike? You've been in the car industry now doing this same kind of stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
What gets you excited about coming to work on Mondays?
I think it's just that small family-owned atmosphere. You know everybody. You're walking through the door. You know that dismantler. You know his wife. He's got kids. He's there at 6 a.m. because he's got to feed them. It's just being personable, I guess, and just knowing everybody and knowing their background. That's what I like. I don't like the big corporation where there's thousands of employees. You don't know anybody. That's not for me, and that's not where I see my future. So.
Right. People aren't a number here. If you're looking for a job, 518-893-0151.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shoot us a call.
Yeah.
Ask for Mike.
Yep. Your family.
The beer is only during podcasts, guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not a daily occurrence.
Now we're going to have to go
That
down.
is a true story. In the beginning, we used to drink a lot of beer here. Ask my wife. We'd close at 5, go home at midnight. And that doesn't work. So we don't do that anymore. Very rarely do we do the beers, but I'm glad we had them today to get a little, it's like swing oil for golf,
Yeah, swing oil for sure.
It's swing oil for podcast.
Sure is.
Podcast oil. We're going to make a regular occurrence. Oh, man. So, guys, to wind it down here, last question, or at least last question for me, and I'll try to shut up. But if you're going to tell someone one thing about running a business, especially in a blue-collar industry, right, like what would you tell them?
Have patience. It'll come with time. You just got to have patience. You're steering the ship. You got to, train your employees, do all that, and just have patience with it that it'll get there one day. Rome wasn't built in a day.
I like it.
Yeah, I wish somebody told me that 18, 20 years ago.
Well, you must have done something right.
Well, I will say that 100% patience is necessary. And, 18, 20 years ago, I wasn't as patient as I was, and I didn't put up with things that I would now. And I would tell people where they could shit in their hat and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't matter if you were my customer, my employee, whoever you were, I was going to tell you. And no, I don't do that anymore. I've changed my ways, so that's 100%. What was the question?
Just that, right? Like, if you were going to tell someone that, in a blue collar industry, whether they're owned a business or, like, if you're going to give them one piece of advice, you're going to tell them one thing, help them be successful, what would it be?
I had a great answer for it, and Mike got ahead of me. But
I had a great answer.
That was
I
a
think
good
the best
answer.
one, you
I
know
blame
what
I blame the Bud Light. It was
Nah. I would just say that, you have to be good to your people. If you be good to your people, they're good back to you. And you have to build a culture and a team that wants to be here and wants to do the job. And without that, you can't build a good company. So that's what I would say.
love it.
So if people want to find you, where can they find you?
They can find us on our website, cornellsuseautoparts.com, or they can call directly 518-893-0151, and there's a directory, and I would be extension 101.
Can't believe you just said that. They got a lot of listeners.
Get them, guys. Get them.
And, you can come on by, too. Come on
Yeah.
in and say hi.
Stop in. Come to beautiful Greenfield Center.
Absolutely.
We love it out here. Plenty of cow country. Sheep.
Yep.
What do you think we got more of? I mean, we got cows right down the road. Cow farm right down there. What is that farm down there? Do you know the name?
Yep, that's Arnold Farm.
Arnold Farm. That's it. I couldn't pull it on my brain.
So I know my dad used to work there when he was 12 years old.
No shit?
Yep.
It's funny. So years ago, I used to drive to Amsterdam all the time from Glens Falls, and I would cut through here, and I'd come through right there, and I'd hit 29 or go down to 67 and go over to Amsterdam. And I just love that farm. I don't know why I love that farm, but
It's there's second, third, and fourth generation working there now, I believe.
no kidding.
Yep. They come up. He comes up here and brings me a turkey every year for Thanksgiving.
Oh yes.
Yeah, yeah. Good folks.
Do I need to bring you guys? I'll bring Mike a turkey. I got six.
I need it,
I got
yeah,
six
yeah.
turkeys in the coop right now. We're doing some turkeys this year. It's my
perfect.
first
Yeah.
year with turkeys.
I'll take one.
Sweet. Guys, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks everybody for listening. Check us out at bluecollarstartup.io.
Share the show. Drop
Share the
us
show.
comments if you want anything answered on the show.
Yeah,
Ask us questions.
Listen, I posted a reel to our story to Instagram today, Derek. How about that?
Proud of you.
Check us out on Instagram. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you
see ya.
later.